Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in the USL-W as we take care of action in the South Central and the South Atlantic. The match of the week from both of these divisions is going to be coming from Statesboro with South Georgia Tormenta taking on South Carolina United Bantams. We'll have some of the highlights of that. We'll lay out the week that was and get you ready for the weekend that will be when it comes to all of the action as we're getting to the business end of the schedule. Separation in some leagues and some divisions, and we'll kind of keep an eye on what's going on in these two divisions and see what kind of separation we have. We'll also check in with SSA and find out about their weekend as well. So let's take you through what happened in the last 7 days in both of these divisions, starting all the way back on the 5th. In the South Atlantic, Carolina the Carolina Ascent put 7 on Fayetteville for the win. Nolensville Stadium in the South Central, Tennessee SC beat Chattanooga Red Wolves women's side in the South Central. In the South Atlantic, North Carolina Courage beat Charlotte Eagles by 7. Carolina Ascent and South Georgia Tormenta knew that one was going to be a tough one at the Community School of Davidson Field for Carolina Ascent. Ended up being a 1-1 draw. Two of the true powers in the South Atlantic division going at it. Also in the South Atlantic at Southeastern Freight Line Soccer Center, South Carolina United Bantams and Wake FC had a 3-3 draw on the 8th. Also on the 8th in the South Central, Greenville Liberty went to Greenwood Field at UNC Asheville and beat Asheville City by the final of 1-0. Marathon Park, it was in the South Central, SSA and Birmingham Legion. SSA turns out to be the winners in that one 3-1. After the match, we caught up with head coach Jordan Davis to find out about the 3-1 win. All right, so what did you think about what happened out there tonight?
Really enjoyed it. Last time we played them in Birmingham last week, gave up a late goal to tie it 2-2. So to take a lead and to manage it and to separate, and all players got to play, it was a great game. It's been a good matchup.
It was 2-0, then they come back, and then you get that one to make it 3-1. What did you talk to them about at the half?
Yeah, they have a habit of coming back on us. So it's a lot about our back four staying connected. We like to be real aggressive and go forward, and it's find those moments, especially in transition, to be secure before we advance the play, and then allow for our front line to get the job done. So,
when you look at this division and how knockdown, drag-out it can be, when I mention this division to you and everything that you've been through this year, what comes to your mind?
This Southeast Conference is super strong. I think the margins are very tight. If you look at the table, it's within one or two results. You can jump or drop numerous spots, which I love the strength and depth of the Southeast. And so we've tried to take the first half of 6 games, put that behind us. It's the second set of games. We've played now 8 games in 20 days, so thick and fast. It's about squad rotation, everybody having value, and enjoying it.
8 and 20. Does it seem like 3 weeks?
It seems a lot longer than 3 weeks. We had a 3-day preseason, so that was fun.
That sets up the action on Monday at Bill Yeager in the South Atlantic. North Carolina Courage traveled on the road to Fayetteville, and Courage beat the Fury by the final of 5-1. Also in the South Central at Franklin Admiral Stadium at Franklin High School, Tennessee SC shut out Birmingham Legion by the final of 3-0. Then the match of the week, South Georgia Tormenta and South Carolina United Bantams. Here's your highlights, courtesy of our friends at NBC Sports Engine, the USL-W League, and Tormenta their own selves.
Courtney Chokel forcing the Bantams to kick that one out of bounds. So now we have a Tormenta throw in deep in the Bantams half. Jody West is going to throw this one in, drop it back to Brianna Eads. Brianna Eads has played a crucial role on multiple occasions so far this season, scoring from the midline just a couple of matches ago. We have a pass inside the box to Ellis Nemtsov from Maroon to Cal, and that's a goal! Santangelo dropping to Nakal, crossing that one into the box. Plenty of Bantams there to head that one away. Carlin Presley trying to pick up the clearance. Brianna Eads ultimately there to chase it down. She's going to feed that one back to Sarah Hegg. Eads going to feed that up to Presley. Presley going strong right at the box. Feeds that one outside to Mel McCoy. McCoy crosses that one into the box. And that's a goal for Ellis Nemtsov. And there's the answer to the inevitable question at the end of each half. We have 3 minutes of added time. Here's Santangelo on hot pursuit for that ball. Ooh. Big collision with the Bantam goalkeeper. Nikau collecting that errant pass. Lifts it up for Courtney Chokel in the box. Courtney Chokel scores off the crossbar.
5-0 final. South Georgia Tormenta putting all 5 on the board before the final 30 minutes. So a big win at home for them in Statesboro, which sets up action on Tuesday at Greenwood Field. Another home match for Asheville City, and they beat SSA by the final of 3-1. In the midweek at Ting Park, Wake FC hosted North Carolina Courage. Courage's road trips continue, and so do the wins. 3-1 win there at Ting Park. Also at Community School of Davidson, Carolina Ascent loses to North Carolina Fusion by the final of 2-1 in the South Atlantic. Greenville Liberty put 7 on Athens United, and that sets up the matches on the 13th on your Thursday, and it was just the one at Charlotte Christian School. Charlotte Eagles hosting South Georgia Tormenta. Tormenta won that one by the final of 3-0, which sets up the schedule, and we'll let you know the standings coming up here in just a little bit. On the weekend, starting with your Saturday, at Ting Park in the South Atlantic, Wake FC hosting Carolina Ascent at Bill Yeager. It is Fayetteville and North Carolina Fusion. 5 o'clock at Clark Central High in Athens, Athens United and Greenville Liberty. At Nolensville, it is on the 15th. It is in the South Central. Tennessee SC at Nolensville is hosting SSA. At the soccer fields at the Southeastern Freight Line Soccer Center in the South Atlantic, Bantams hosting Charlotte Eagles. On Sunday, the 16th, at CHI Memorial, Red Wolves hosting Legion in the South Central. And then that sets up activity in the midweek as we get you ready for what's coming up by the time we meet up again on Tuesday night at Bantam's home field. It's Bantams and North Carolina Courage. Also at Ting Park in the South Atlantic, Wake FC hosting North Carolina Fusion. Greenwood Field at North Carolina Asheville, it is Asheville City and Chattanooga Red Wolves. Sets up activity on Wednesday at Protective at the Stadium Field. Birmingham Legion's women's side gets to play Greenville Liberty. And then you have 2 other matches on the 19th in the South Central. Athens United hosting Tennessee SC at Clark Central. And in the South Atlantic, South Georgia Tormenta at Tormenta Stadium hosting Charlotte Eagles. So now that sets up the standings and where things are located when it comes to these particular divisions. In the South Atlantic, once again, we go by points per match. North Carolina Courage at 2.71 through 7 matches, 19 points in the overall. North Carolina Fusion, 2.14 points, just ahead of South Georgia Tormenta. Tormenta have played one more match, though. 8 matches, 17 points to Fusion, 7 matches and 15, but points per match, 2.14 for Fusion, 2.13 for South Georgia Tormenta. Carolina Ascent has kind of come back to earth a little bit after 8 matches, an average of 1.63, equal to Wake FC for 4th and 5th, but goal difference right now playing the part for Carolina Ascent at a plus 13 and Wake FC at a minus 2. Bantams right now in 6th at 1.25 points per match after 8 matches, and 10 points in the overall. Charlotte Eagles have the 1 win on the season in 8 matches, and Fayetteville have yet to win this season in the South Atlantic. In the South Central Division, Tennessee SC, after 7 matches, they've got 19 points, 2.71 points per match. Asheville City, after 8 matches, 16 points, averaging 2 points per match. Greenville Liberty have 1.63 points per match, 13 in 8. Red Wolves 11 points in 8, which translates to 1.38, and that's your top 4. SSA, after 9 matches, is 1.22 and 11 points. Birmingham Legion, 7 matches, 7 points, and Athens United have yet to win so far this season in the South Central. In the news that is going on, there's a great article on South Georgia Tormenta and the business of community, especially with the rollout of what we're seeing with the unified team. And on the SDH Network app, you can catch up with the interview that we did with Alex Wagner, the head coach of South Georgia Tormenta's unified team, as they continue to expand their footprint and make sure that the game is accessible to all. So very, very cool that Tormenta's unified team has their first match under their belt. You can go to the SDH app, go to Spreaker.com, do a search for Soccer Down Here, and you can catch the interview that we did with Alex Wagner with South Georgia Tormenta as they continue to grow. Storylines as we get into week number 6. Oakland dominated in a doubleheader. W League players were in the TST, and it's really cool to see how things continue to grow and evolve, especially in the TST with players being active and making real deep runs in the activity going on. So if the W League playoffs started today, and you can always follow the action courtesy of our friends at NBC Sports Engine and USL-W it would be Tennessee SC in the South Central. Maddie Podolsky has 8 goals and a hat-trick, 6 goals, 2 assists. TSC, they have really done well to get to that plus 28 goal difference. 5 matches to go. Tennessee's most important match, according to the league, might be their last against Asheville City. Asheville City drew 3-3 earlier this season, only 3 points behind them in the table. Also on the board in the South Atlantic right now, Courage U23s at 6-0-1. Since that first match, they've won 6 in a row, and they've still missed a couple of players. 26 goals, 4-point lead over North Carolina Fusion. 5 matches away from securing their spot in the playoffs and chasing after a championship, which came up just short last season. Reminder, this was the other big news of the week. The W League is now having an expanded partnership with NBC Universal. Peacock and the Super League, with the USL Super League, all the matches in the multi-year agreement, the centerpiece of an expanded partnership with NBC Universal. USL Super League's weekend, August 17, 18, 115 matches combined. Peacock is where you can find all of the matches in the new USL, the Super League, and that's going to be great to see every single match that is going on in the USL Super League accessible through our friends at Peacock. Power rankings after week number 6, looking at teams in the footprint. Tennessee SC drops 2 to number 3 after being up top in the standings. Also, looking at teams in the footprint, North Carolina Courage U23s up 1 to number 9. Indy 11 down 1 to number 10 with a record of 5-0-1. And in the top 15, just some other teams of note, Oakland Soul is at 11, Minnesota Aurora is at number 12 as their matches continue. But in the footprint right now, Tennessee SC and North Carolina Courage U23s. As a reminder, if you are anywhere close and can catch the matchups in the USL-W League, regardless of division, please do so. You can see the fantastic talent that is growing inside the USL and the USL-W, and specifically here in the footprint in the South Central, involving Athens United, Red Wolves, SSA, Tennessee SC, Birmingham Legion, the Liberty, Asheville City, Tormenta, Fury, Wake FC, Charlotte Eagles, Bantams, Carolina Ascent, the Fusion, and the Courage U23s. If you are in market and can't be there in person, follow along on your local providers. If you are out of market and still want to follow along, check with the social media platforms of all of the teams that are in the USL-W. And you can always come back here every single week, and we'll let you know what's going on in the USL-W. So for everybody at SDH, I'm just John. Thanks for dropping by as we take you through the USL-W South Central and South Atlantic. Play it safe, everybody. Enjoy the game.